Hello and welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is the North Shore 9 NS9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. No sandwiches today, Ryan. The Pirates lose to the Padres 8-2. They lose that series. They lose the rubber match. And it started out as a nice one. Like, it was a good game, great pitchers duel. But then, some decisions were made. But anyway, how you doing today, Ryan? How did you enjoy today's game?
Yeah, it was a weird one. I'm a little confused, Cody. I'm a little confused. Well, like you mentioned,
We have the same. Yeah, I think we have the same opinion on something.
Couple decisions that just didn't make any sense today. But what a weird one. I mean, it was scoreless. It was a 0-0 game heading into the seventh inning.
Yeah.
And it finished 8-2. Like, we saw 6 runs in the seventh inning, and then we saw another 4 in the ninth. To steal a line from the great movie Miracle, Cody, Kurt Russell, the Pirates managed this game like it was a throwaway game in Rochester.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. But that's what happened today.
And it did feel like that. And it's unfortunate because this team has felt different, right? It didn't feel like it was the team that was just going to have a throwaway game in Rochester. They were going to treat every game like it was a must-win almost. And today you have Mitch Keller go out, gives you a quality start, goes 6, has 4 strikeouts, just doesn't give up a run. He's on fire so far. I mean, I think I'm just going to get right into it. He had 15 called strikes today, 10 whiffs, and was just all over this Padres lineup. They couldn't really touch him. They couldn't touch him at all.
No, he was fabulous. Like you mentioned, quality start. It was better than that. It was a stellar start. Like, he didn't give up a run. The sweeper, I mean, he had the sweep. The Padres couldn't get anything going off the sweeper. He threw that pitch 31% of the time today, which is, more than we've seen him throw it in the past couple seasons. He got 6 whiffs off that. Like, the Padres just had no answers for him. They had 3 hits, 1 walk, no runs. Like, it was just he was cruising. And they, just like, a couple starts ago, they pulled Skeens at 70 some pitches. Mitch was at 75. I know it's April, guys. I know it's early. We were on this last time talking about the Skeens thing. Right. When you got a guy that's cruising, he's pitching well. It's a little different if they're scuffling and not pitching very good, but he was cruising and he's at 75 pitches. He's not at 98. Like, I'm not saying bring him back out because he was at 96 and he didn't get to 100 yet. Right. He was at 75 pitches and he was cruising. Why not leave him out there for the 7th? That's what doesn't. It doesn't match up with me. You look. Yeah. You have Ashcraft. You have Bubba, guys that you are actively limiting their innings this year, and that makes sense. This is their pretty much their rookie seasons. Mitch Keller's an 8-year veteran. Like, he's thrown more than 160 innings for the past 4 years. Like, he's one of your horses. He is the horse. He's your innings eater. Let him go a 7th. And I'm not, who knows? Maybe the bullpen comes in and still blows the game, or maybe Mitch gives up some runs.
Right.
But on the flip side, Michael King pitching for the Padres, he's out there at 90 some pitches still pitching in the 7th. So I just don't get it. At some point, you gotta let Keller and even I would say Skeens at this point, just stop babying him and let him pitch. And yes, I got the Guinness. Somebody asked in the comments.
I think that was Lisa.
Flowing today.
But yeah, you bring up the comparison with Michael King on the other side today. I mean, he only had 6 whiffs. He threw way more pitches, and even through 6 innings, I'm pretty sure he threw more pitches than Mitch Keller. And the Pirates were like, they were on top of him. They weren't scoring runs, obviously. It was still scoreless, but it seemed like the Pirates lineup had a better idea of what King was doing than what the Padres lineup knew what Keller was doing. And to go on to your point about, like, this is your innings eater, I know last week I was the one saying, well, you don't want Skeens to go too long. Like, you can't have that in early April. But Mitch Keller is your workhorse. Mitch Keller is your vet. He's the guy that's supposed to be going 6, 7, maybe 8 innings, especially in a game like today where he is just cruising and he's got this lineup figured out. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to pull him this early. Now, if he was in the 6th inning with like 95 pitches, sure. That
That's what
makes
I'm saying. Yeah.
me. But he was very efficient. He was dope, as we like to say.
Yep.
It really boggled my mind, especially when you want to try. I mean, obviously there's an off day tomorrow, but you want to keep this bullpen as fresh as possible. And you could have done that today, but now you had Lawrence go out there. He got shelled. Urquidy went out there, didn't have the best defense behind him. It was a game that unraveled after that moment. Like, that was the turning point.
Yeah, it definitely unraveled for sure. And that's the thing. You take Keller out when you really didn't need to, and then you bring in a volatile reliever. And that's what Justin Lawrence has been good, but he's up and down at times. It's like bringing in kind of like a Mason Montgomery or something. You don't really know what you're getting. There were better options, but that's what they went with. And then next thing you know, 4 runs are in. And, it wasn't all him. Nick Gonzalez had a bad error there at short, which we talked about his defense at third and short before. But yeah, Michael King was injured last year. Like, he didn't even have a full season, and he's out there in April pitching at 90 some pitches. So like I said, you have guys that you're going to watch their innings this year. You don't want to overthrow this bullpen. You have a guy like Mitch Keller who's your innings eater, and it's not like somebody mentioned about the second half's numbers with Mitch Keller, and I mean, he's done that 3 years in a row, guys. I mean, do I believe that Mitch Keller runs out of steam in the second half? It doesn't look like a guy. He just kind of loses it in the second half. I don't know if saving him a couple innings here and there in April is going to change his whole second half. At that point, just pitch him 3 innings every start, and then maybe he'll be good to go for the second half. So you can't do that. You have to manage it like in the game. And he was cruising, and I just didn't love that decision. I didn't love the decision to, bring Urquidy in and then leave him in. It just seemed like they were like, hey, it's getaway day. Let's pack up and go to Chicago. And it's a shame because somebody here in the comments said it's the difference between being a true contender. Like, if you're going for a wild card spot or something this year, like games like this, you need to win at home. You started off 3-0 in this homestand, and you finished 4-2. It really should have been a 5-1 homestand, but
I mean, I think to an extent we got to bring ourselves down to earth too. Like, it is the third or fourth series of the season. Like, it's not the end of the world. This isn't the end of the world, but there are tendencies that could accumulate from this game specifically down the line that we don't want to see, like taking a starter out too early. Now, you got to remember, it's early in the year. You're going to have that. Like, that's going to happen. That's just the nature of the game in this era, that you want to save your arms. I just don't think that's what you do with Mitch Keller in this situation, because he's the veteran, because he's the guy that's been around, his arms stretched out. You don't have to worry about him getting hurt. And if he does, you got guys. You got guys that can come up and fill that spot. It's not ideal. You do feel like you're kind of on the edge right now because you don't have a Jared Jones that can just come back. These minor league guys are just getting going down in AAA, and you don't really want to have to bring them up and say, hey, we need you to start. But that's kind of the calling card of the Pittsburgh Pirates, is that you have pitching depth. And I still believe that they have enough pitching depth that if somewhere order, please don't, I hope this doesn't happen, but if, God forbid, somebody goes down early in the season, it's not going to be the end of the world for this team. So, yeah, it was a bizarre thing. I think it happened because it's an early game. It's a game in April. That's why this happened. And I think we can't make too much of it. But on the other side of the coin here, Mitch Keller, I looked this up before the game started because I was talking to my brother on the phone. And he's like, Mitch Keller pitches better in day games.
Yes.
And I go, really? So I looked it up on Baseball Reference. He statistically is a much better pitcher on day games.
You could have
And
looked it
that's
up on the NS9 blog today because I wrote about that in my bullpen breakdown this morning.
there
So
you go.
I did note that he is first half Mitch on day games. That's what you want right there.
Yeah, statistically, that's the best version of Mitch Keller that you're going to get. And this team just couldn't take advantage. And I mean, if we want that, we should continue on the pitchers and then transition to the hitters later. But you didn't get the bats that you needed either. But they did end up hitting later in the game. But we'll continue on with Lawrence. Lawrence comes in. Whoa, I'm getting a phone call.
You blacked out there for a second.
She's gonna be like, "Why'd you hang up?" But anyway, yeah, am I back?
We're live. We're doing this live, Steph.
Everything's messed up for me now. You're delayed.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, talk to the people about Justin Lawrence in the bullpen while I figure this out.
It was kind of weird because, we talked about Mitch Keller throwing the sweeper today and how the Padres really couldn't touch it. Justin Lawrence comes out here and, he obviously has the sweeper, but the Padres weren't really missing on that. Gonzalez kind of starts things off. He gets the error, and then it just kind of funnels from there. I think, who was it? Was it Cronenworth ends up hitting a home run in the 7th, and it just, that was like, oh, okay, 4 runs, it's out. Credit to the Pirates offense. I'm writing about this on our game takeaways post, and I like this offense. Even in the 8th inning, down 4-2, I'm like, I thought they were in it. Like they had a shot. Then they kind of got unlucky because they had some hits that outfield defense really played a role there for the Padres. But they kept battling back. So credit to the offense there. But yeah, Lawrence just didn't have it today. And I mean, that's why he's a volatile reliever. And then they bring in Urquidy. He pitches a clean 8th, and then just the floodgates again in the 9th. And that was another questionable decision, I thought, Cody, because with the off day tomorrow, Santana hadn't pitched the last couple nights. I thought for sure we'd see him whether the game was competitive or not. Like you could have just thrown Santana. You have the off day tomorrow. They didn't go that route, and they just they stuck with Urquidy. It just seemed like they were just fine with going through the motions on this one. And I thought that was a questionable call as well. And then Connor Griffin, let me bring this up too. He signs a big extension this morning. We're all happy. He has the press conference. He's not in the lineup today.
Right.
And, it's one thing we've talked about before, like the afternoon lineups and a Shelton Sunday special. We really haven't seen that too much from the Pirates this year, thankfully. Like Brandon Lau and Ryan Ahern have been in like every game but like one this year. And Connor Griffin had played like 3 or 4 days in a row. They sit him down today, which, okay, you're like, let's get him, a break here before the getaway day. But then he comes in and pinch hits in the 7th, and then he stays in the game. So, like, you played him anyway. So, like, why didn't he just start? But, that's another. So, it was like 3 questionable calls there. The bullpen, taking Keller out, and then why Connor Griffin wasn't starting today, but then he ended up playing. And Cody's gone, man. He is out. He said, I had enough of this guy, this game. Yeah. So you know what? While we're here and while Cody disappeared, maybe I'll just flip it to Cody. Cody, I'm going to send it to you.
Sounds great.
We'll be right back here. Here's Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it. and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to
64,000.
That's MLB
64000.
Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
I do
you
need
with
an
me,
IQ
Cody?
bar. I'm here. I don't know how one ignored phone call could send my whole setup through a loop.
It just derailed your whole computer setup.
I'm gonna have to start putting everything on do not disturb when I do these.
There you go.
But I caught you talking about Lawrence coming in and in the lineup, and then Connor Griffin, and then I lost you.
Yeah, that was basically it. I mean, obviously Lawrence, you're taking Keller out early, which we talked about, and then like Connor Griffin sits today, which okay, but then he plays. Like he comes in the 7th inning, pinch hits, and then he stays in the game. So I don't know. Like, why don't you just start him?
Yeah, and I mean,
wasn't good.
It's funny because my brother said the same thing. He's like, you signed him to a deal, make him play. And I'm like, well, it's probably a planned day off. Like, they knew they were going to sign him today.
Right.
Let him enjoy it. Let him enjoy it with his family so he doesn't have to, like, prepare for a game after all this excitement. So I get that. But, yeah, like,
then he played.
If you want to sell tickets and you want to win a game, play your best shortstop. Because we did have some plays from Nick Gonzalez today that, I mean, if Connor Griffin was there, maybe he gets those plays. But also, Connor Griffin came in today and got his first error.
Wait, Connor Griffin?
Yeah, he came in. Whenever he came in for Gonzalez moved over to third base.
Third.
And Griffin got his first error on, I think it was Castellanos.
Oh, yeah, that was in the 9th.
Yeah, it was late in the game.
Yeah.
It was pretty much over, but
yep.
Still.
Yeah, it's just and then that's the thing with the 7th, it started out error with Nick Gonzalez, and then Padres went double ground out home run. So it was like, yeah, that was pretty much it. But yeah, it was weird to me that they sit him and then they end up playing him. So I'm not sure what the plan was there, but it just questionable decisions all over the board.
Yeah.
Cody.
And I'm sorry, I'm finally like catching back to what you said, and I want to go back to you talking about Santana. And yeah, I agree with you. Like that should have been the play when you're down by 2 runs, to bring in Santana, bring in a tourniquet so that this offense can get going. And that's not what happened. More runs were scored, and then it just fell apart. So anyway, we can continue.
And Santana hadn't pitched.
Caught up.
He hadn't pitched since Saturday. I mean, he was fresh, and you have an off day tomorrow. So I thought for sure like we were going to see Santana no matter what. We got to see Mason Miller versus Connor Griffin, which was fun. But
yeah,
it didn't end well.
Yeah, makes me think Connor's got to work on picking up on velocity.
Yeah, well, Mason Miller is the one to practice against because he's sick, absolutely sick. So yeah, they just threw him in the 9th in an 8-2 game just to be like, here you go, try to hit this guy. But yeah, it was just.
And it was probably. I mean, I think they gave it to him to be like, hey, you finally get to pitch in the ballpark that you grew up going to. So.
Right.
I know they talked about that on the broadcast, that he still has a ball encased from that Andrew McCutchen threw to him on his 14th birthday. The whole spiel with Mason Miller. So good for him. But yeah, KG in that at bat, he was trying to catch up to the high fastball. That was not going to happen. And then he gets him swinging on the sweeper, and that's a pitch that Connor has gotten tested with, the sweeper slider outside. And I think from a guy like Mason Miller, I think he was just guessing up there, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, it's tough not to. It's the guy's sick. So yeah, that was there you go. So Paul says Donnie Shelton lost the game. And people got on me. People got on me last, you credit, or you always when Shelton does something wrong, you get on him, but not Don Kelly. But no, Don Kelly did not. This was not one of his better manager performances.
Yeah,
that's for sure today. So
we are not here to carry the water of Don Kelly. We will treat him the same as we treated Derek Shelton.
100%. 100%.
I love Don Kelly. I think he's a far better manager, but I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat things.
Right. Well, let's. Do you want to talk about the offense?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, the big story on the offense for me was Nick York. I think today Nick York kind of proved that he belongs in the major leagues. He went 3 for 3. He got a walk, no RBIs or anything, but like 3 solid hits against a pretty good Padres pitching staff. I take that. And I think this homestand kind of was like his true introduction to the fan base of like, hey, I'm here too. I may not be a Connor Griffin. I may not be a phenom, but I'm a guy that can hang around. I'm a guy that can get a hit when you need one. I'm a guy who can hit major league pitching. And sadly, that's something we hadn't seen in years prior. But now you have a bench guy who can come into the game and now go 3 for 3 out of nowhere. Like, I think that was a great thing to see in a bad game like this.
No, it was. It was refreshing to see, him come out, like you said, on base 4 times, kind of got some things started. And I mean, that 7th inning, look, I love this offense has had a couple games where, especially the first game in this Padres series where they were shut out. But like they get guys on, they have power. Like we know O'Hearn, Lau, Cruz has been on fire. Like we know they got it in them. And it like I love to see them they battled back. They didn't quit. They scored 2 runs in the 7th inning, and it really could have been more. Like Griffin pinch hit, had that shot out to left. Dude, Ramon Laureano
Dude, he was on it today. Paul said in the comments here, credit to their defense today. That was amazing.
Yeah. And that's the outfield defense. Like we talk about the Pirates outfield defense and how poor it's been. This is what good outfield defense can do for you. Like it kind of won the game for the Padres. That 7th inning, the Pirates could have easily tied the game up at 4 in that 7th inning. So Griffin gets a sac fly, but he makes a diving stop. Could have easily been a double and scored 2 runs. And then he made another great play, I believe, was that on Lau later in that inning. And it's just like,
I think so. I know he made a catch on Mangum. Mangum hit one over his head, and he had to trek back.
Yep. It was in the 8th inning with O'Hearn. He had one on O'Hearn too. Yep. So they had, and I think the expected batting averages on those hits were 600-700. So it could have been a completely different inning for sure in those late innings when all these runs started coming down. But yeah, outfield defense, credit to the Padres for it because they were balling out there. And I don't know if we can say that about the Pirates in the outfield defense this year because it's a little suspect. But I love that the bats didn't quit because we saw how many times last year, Cody. You
go down like that and the game's just over.
You go down 3-4 runs and it's like, well, this game's over. Like our offense isn't coming back. And they battled back. They could have easily tied it until you got to the 9th inning when we threw some more gasoline on the fire and made it 8-2. Yeah. But they had a chance there, and I love the battle back. York, like you said, 3 for 3, got on base 4 times. I love that. Cruz had a nice double earlier in the game when they really couldn't get anything going against King. So yeah, I think this offense, even in games where they lose and they only score a couple runs or whatever, they still find a way to impress me. And it just things didn't fall their way today. But yeah, I'm not panicked about the offense. It's fine.
Right, and it's not to be okay with a loss, but this was one of the best losses I've seen the Pittsburgh Pirates have in a long time. They, like you said, they came out after going down 4 runs and said, "We're not quitting. We're gonna keep going." And you didn't think this game was over until the next inning when the Padres came back up to bat. But yeah, we've been missing that, and I think we got it. And it comes from that bottom half of the lineup. It came from York. It came from Gonzalez. Obviously, Griffin pinch hits, and it was funny. They were joking. He's probably never pinch hit in his life.
good point. That's a good point.
But he comes in and he gets an RBI, and then Bart, even Joey Bart, who they put his stats up right before that at bat, he's batting 100. He's not doing great. He is not hitting his weight whatsoever. But he pokes one through the middle of the infield and scores another run. Like, it's that resilience that this team didn't have in the past that they now do have, that even when you go down, you're still in the game.
Yeah. I love it. It's like I said, after the offense we've seen for the past, I don't know what, 3-4 years, like Cody, like it's refreshing. It's different. And, Brandon Lau, we've talked a lot about him this year. He went 0 for 4 today. He came up with a huge opportunity in the 7th and flied out, but he didn't have the greatest game today, but he definitely had his chances. So like it could have easily been a different story in this one for sure.
Yeah, and Lau is a guy that you hope it doesn't last, but it seems like he's in a slump and it's early. But you're almost thankful that it's early, that he's getting into a little bit of a slump.
Right.
These last 2 games haven't been great for him, so hopefully he gets out of that. It is nice to see that they're trying their best not to put Marcelo Zuna in the lineup.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. They sat him twice, 2 games in a row now. So I don't know if when you see somebody like, okay, we're going to sit him down, usually it's a game or so, unless it's like, it is I don't know if you can say prolonged slump. He's in a slump. He hasn't hit this year, but it's early. But when they sit him down twice, like, I don't know, are we going to see like some kind of phantom IL stint maybe, or are we just sitting him a couple games?
I don't know. Maybe they're thinking, hey, let's give you the rest of the series off. Got an off day to relax.
Yeah.
When we get into Chicago, and then once we get to Wrigley, we'll try it again. But man, I appreciate the lineup construction and keeping your bad players out of it because
for sure,
like I've been saying, we didn't see that a lot last year. If this was last year, he'd be in the lineup every day. It's like that's what they did with Rowdy Tellez. They just kept putting him out there. It didn't matter what the performance was. You paid for him, so he's going to play. This year, the Pittsburgh Pirates are saying, "Hey, we're here to win, and if you're not going to contribute, we're going to give you some days off to figure it out." And that's the difference. That difference in mentality is good. It should win you more games.
Yeah, if he doesn't hit the IL, go into Chicago, Wrigley Field, maybe the wind will be blowing out. Maybe it'll help him.
Right.
Something will happen. But yeah, we'll see. Because when you see that 2 days in a row, it's like, are we going to do a stint? Are we going to do some phantom stint? But I don't know. He may just be sitting them down and give him the off day too tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens in Chicago. So. But,
well, it is a loss, but we still need to do the lunch pail day game player of the game.
I forgot about this, Cody. I love it.
And today it goes to Mitch Keller. It goes to the guy that basically would have won us this game had he stayed in the game. Mitch Keller he's a consistency with this Pirates team. He goes out there, gets you a quality start. He's gotten a quality start in every start this year.
Yep.
And
he's
just a guy. He is the vet of this team, other than Brian Reynolds. But he is the one that when he's on the mound, he knows his job. He's going to get it done, and he's going to do it well. So, lunch pail player of the game goes to Mitch Keller.
Honorable mention to Nick York.
Yes, of course. It was tough. I gotta admit, it was tough for me to do this, but sure, Nick York has 3 hits, but no RBIs. So there's no, he has the hits, but no contribution to. Well, he scored a run, but still, no RBIs. I think Keller put in a much better effort that was cut short.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was fabulous. I mean, I know we harped a lot on the decision to pull him, but we didn't. He was fabulous today, and I mean. There were people in the offseason, Cody, that wanted to trade Mitch Keller, and I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad that he's still here. Especially they didn't sign any free agent arm either for the rotation. So Keller is your horse. Like you need Mitch Keller, and I don't know. First half Mitch Keller, I love. Day game Mitch Keller, I love. I hope he figures it out this year in the second half. But Mitch Keller's a dude. He was great today. Should have been 7 shutout innings.
He brought his lunch pail to the park today. He put in work in the yard, and the union boss came out and said he can't work no more. And then that's that's how it goes. I had to get a joke in there somehow.
Oh man, but yeah, I love Mitch Keller. I love him. He's the glue of this rotation. And look, you have a young pitching rotation. They're really good. The potential's high, but he's your glue. He's your veteran. So he was great today. I wish they would just let him let him pitch. Let Mitch pitch.
Let Mitch pitch. Mitchapalooza, baby.
Mitchapalooza.
Well, all right, Ryan. Do you have any odds for us from our friends at FanDuel?
You know what? So the Pirates are we always get these afternoon games where there's no game the next day.
I know, so we don't have odds for the next day.
But with Connor Griffin signing the big extension, I did check his Rookie of the Year odds just to update everybody on FanDuel. He is the favorite right now. He's tied at plus 330 with Sal Stewart of the Reds. And we saw Sal Stewart.
Sal Stewart, really?
He didn't do anything against us anyway. But dude, you know what? We took 2 or 3 from the Reds, but now they're 8-3. So like they're tied with the Brewers in first place. So we gotta get into these divisional games here this weekend and start winning some games. But plus 330 odds for Rookie of the Year for Connor Griffin.
Well, let's hope he can win that. It'll be great for the fan base, great for the guy, and great for the team.
Yep. I mean, you'll know he's going to be here the whole year. So at this point,
yeah, hopefully
he's providing that defense and hopefully the bat. But he got his big extension, so we're ready.
All righty, Ryan. Well, that's all I got for today. What about you? We getting out of here?
Yeah, that's it. Too bad I wish we could have given away some sandwiches on this getaway day, but it was not to be. But maybe next. I'll be on the show Friday. I think all 3 Chicago games are like 2:20 afternoon starts. So
yeah, it's like that one time in a day game where like I can't do a post game.
Well, 2:20 is a little late. I know it kind of runs into your work time. So
yeah, 12:40, 12:30 starts perfect, but 2:20, not ideal for me. So
I love my afternoon games.
Probably next Wednesday.
Yep. So I'll be we'll be. I would say all our weekday mid games we'll be there, but yeah, it'll be good. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward. The Cubs have a ton of injuries. Cade Horton just is out for the year, and
arms are going down like flies.
Yeah, so we'll see. It'll be a good test. The Cubs have been slow out the gate, so we'll see what the Buccos do.
Yep. All right. Well, tomorrow I believe we have our NS9 Live with the big boys.
Yep.
Well, actually, no Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler's gone, so it might just be
Jim and Donardo and whatever they concoct. Maybe we got some Gymalytics on some early season stats. Who knows? But it'll be a good time nonetheless. And then back to post games this weekend. So, Ryan, it was a pleasure as always.
Yep.
See you later, folks. Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone. Peace.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.